Evolution has evolved into a more sophisticated hoax in recent years. The more people graduate from universities that teach evolution as the core teaching, the more accepted the lie is. Abiogenesis claims that life began on Earth some 4.4 billion years ago when an asteroid hit the Earth, bringing with it the necessary elements and reacting with the environment's carbon dioxide, nitrogen, hydrogen, water vapor, methane, and the ocean's sulfur to produce various forms of primitive bacteria that eventually evolved into the many species we have today. Darwin's warm little pond seemed to suggest a similar recipe for the origin of life. Evolutionists have connected Darwin's theory of evolution with the abiogenesis claims to formulate a more complex picture for the origins of life, completely based on assumptions, faith, and pseudoscience, even if they deny it. But from where do they obtain such a huge number of years to place this event in time? Answer is probability. For these events to happen as described is so highly improbable that for them to unfold the probability turns prohibitive and absurd, and so, in order to accommodate these fantastic claims, a huge year span needs to be introduced, something like 4.4 billion years. For evolution to work, almost mythical claims are suggested. Imagination runs wild in this theory. Just because they found a fossilized animal that looked like this, they immediately imagined that this happened. Or this. Although evolution can be refuted in many levels, except at the micro level, where microorganisms truly evolve, we can attack this elaborated hoax from other perspectives when it comes to the macro level. Evolutionists give great emphasis on cranial capacity when evaluating the hominid fossils, which are considered transitional fossils that supposedly reinforce the evolution theory. The question that arises is, are these fossils truly transitional, or could they be simply considered fully human or fully ape? Let's see. According to biology, living gorillas have cranial capacities as high as 752 cubic centimeters. Living human beings have cranial capacities ranging from 1100 cubic centimeters to an average of 1350 cubic centimeters. If gorillas today are considered fully ape, then we could safely assume that any hominid skull fossil having a cranial capacity lower than 752 cubic centimeters will make such a creature fully ape. If such is the case, we will have no strong reason to link certain hominid skull fossils with the idea of evolution that man came from an ape-like common ancestor. The logic behind this is that at present time we live side by side with fully ape creatures. Thus, the same could have been the case back then during the existence of the hominid family, given the fact that some hominid skull fossils can be considered fully ape. Computer programmers often recycle their programming code to generate new programs, changing from a few lines to 100 of them. They don't need to destroy their previous code, but merely modify it to generate another program that could have similar functions but other purposes. When finished, this new modified code receives a name, let's call it Y product, but people out there can still find the non-modified code, let's call it X product, which is used for a different purpose than that of the Y product. There is even the possibility that the programmers at a certain company produce simultaneously both programs, the X product and the Y product, using a source code given by the company. When finished, the company releases both programs simultaneously, or maybe assigns a release date for each product. This analogy is to reason with people that living things don't necessarily need to be the product of evolution, but created by an intelligent designer, living out of time and space. Why chimps have 48 chromosomes while humans have only 46? Why do chimps have 44 chromosomes identical to humans, and what happened to the other 4? Aren't we supposed to be more complex than chimps? What happened there? The fact is that the remaining two pairs of chimps chromosomes fused together to form the human's chromosome 2. This was noticed by geneticists when analyzing the pre-telomeric region and the telomeric sequences in humans' chromosome 2. This strongly indicates a carefully planned genetic code manipulation instead of evolution. It requires faith in evolution to believe that living things happen by chance, because probability for it turns dangerously improbable. The probability of an intelligent designer behind all life on this planet increases the chances that life could have come into existence successfully. A god that simply modified the source code of life multiple times at the beginning and released the outcome into Earth.
The following are the fossil hominid skulls. Number 1. Australopithecus afarensis lived supposedly 3.9 to 3 million years ago. Brain size equals 380 to 430 cubic centimeters. The wrist anatomy of these creatures has been proved to be similar to knuckle-walking apes. Number 2. Australopithecus africanus STS5 lived supposedly 2.6 million years ago. Brain size equals 485 cubic centimeters. Number 3. Australopithecus africanus STS71 lived supposedly 2.5 million years ago. Brain size equals 428 cubic centimeters. Number 4. Homo habilis KNMER 1813 lived supposedly 1.9 million years ago. Brain size equals 510 cubic centimeters. The Homo habilis KNMER 1813 is no longer considered a human ancestor by paleontologists. Number 5. Homo habilis OH24 lived supposedly 1.8 million years ago. Brain size equals 590 cubic centimeters. The Homo habilis OH24 is no longer considered a human ancestor by paleontologists. Number 6. Homo rudolfensis KNMER 1470 lived supposedly 1.8 million years ago. Brain size equals 752 cubic centimeters. Number 7. Homo erectus Menezi cranium D2700 lived supposedly 1.75 million years ago. Brain size equals 900 cubic centimeters. Cranial capacity higher than that of living gorillas. The Homo erectus is no longer considered a human ancestor by paleontologists and is now classified as a side branch of species. Number 8. Homo ergaster KNMER 3733 lived supposedly 1.75 million years ago. Brain size equals 600 to 775 cubic centimeters. Though their cranial capacity was smaller than that of the Homo erectus, their morphology make their classification human. Apparently these humans suffered some kind of morphological degeneration. So, were they truly human or fully ape? Should we consider their cranial capacity or morphology? Number 9. Homo heidelbergensis Rhodesian man lived supposedly 300,000 to 125,000 years ago. Brain size equals 1,100 to 1,400 cubic centimeters. Number 10. Homo sapiens neanderthalensis Lafarasi 1 lived supposedly 70,000 years ago. Brain size equals 1,600 cubic centimeters. Number 11. Homo sapiens neanderthalensis La Chapelle Saints lived supposedly 60,000 years ago. Brain size equals 1,620 cubic centimeters. Number 12. Homo sapiens neanderthalensis Lamaustier lived supposedly 45,000 years ago. Brain size equals 1,740 cubic centimeters. Number 13. Homo sapiens sapiens Cro-Magnoni lived supposedly 30,000 years ago. Brain size equals 1,590 cubic centimeters. Number 14. Homo sapiens sapiens modern. Brain size equals 1,100 to 1,350 cubic centimeters.